SolGold puts in place 750 million US dollars of financing. Hello and welcome to Kitco Mining with me, Paul Harris. Joining me today is SolGold CEO Scott Caldwell. Scott, welcome to Kitco.
Thank you and good morning.
Now, Scott, you've just announced a $750 million commitment from Franco-Nevada and Osisko Gold Royalties to help advance the development of the Cascabel copper gold project in Ecuador. What are they buying?
Well, we've only streamed or only sold the gold, and so they will, depending on where we are in the mine life, but they start at about 20% or 20% of the gold, and then they drop down to 16% after year 10. And so they're just buying, let's just say 20% of the gold. We keep all the copper exposure, which, we're a copper miner. So we're quite excited about working with our partners, Franco and Osisko.
Excellent. Congratulations there. Now, earlier this year in February, you issued a pre-feasibility study on Cascabel that detailed a 4-year development for an initial 12 million tonnes per year operation, ramping up to 24 million tonnes a year. And that will produce 123 tonnes per year of copper, 277,000 ounces a year of gold, 794,000 ounces a year of silver for an initial 28-year mine life. What impact do you anticipate that 20% gold stream to have on project economics?
Yeah, what it does there's no free lunch. There is an impact on the negative side for us. If you look at our cost per pound of copper, I'm talking AISC. So pre-stream, it was around 70 cents, and now it's up to about 90. So it's increased by 20 cents a pound of copper US. We're still in the low quartile, the lowest quartile for copper producers. Obviously, we're not producing now, but we're modeling the impact of the stream right now as far as NPV. But it's basically lost on the rounding error as far as the NPV goes, and so really no real impact. But yes, there is a free lunch at least on your financials, but it's your operating cost increases, right, on a per pound.
Now, the company is working on the feasibility study or the next economic study. So what will these funds allow you to do, and how will it allow you to advance with that?
Yeah, the funds, we get $100 million, conditions precedent, so we have to hit some milestones along the way. But we get $100 million in the next 2 years, and that $100 million, so equal draws of $33.3 million. And the first one is already in the bank, so we got the first draw upon close. And then we get the second one when we hit certain milestones. But the goal is, and we think we have adequate funding to complete a study, a pre-feasibility, moving to a feasibility study. And then also, probably more importantly, is getting the access, the environmental permits, approvals, buy what land we have to actually have a shovel-ready project here in the next 18 to 24 months.
Let's talk a little bit more about the permitting process. Where are you in that? How long do you anticipate that process will last?
Sure. Well, we began permitting quite some time ago. We received one permit so far, which we call advanced exploration or underground exploration. And that's the long drives to access the deposit and do exploration work from underground. So we have that permit. It took 8 months to get it. But the long and the short of it, we'll think we have all of our permits in place, we hope, in 24 months. And we're working right now with the relevant authorities, the Ministry of Environment, to jointly develop a permitting schedule. But it looks like it'll be 24 months from when we start. So if you'd like 24 months from now, so what's that, mid 26 or so?
Okay. Now, the current Noboa administration is pro-business, pro-mining, really sees the value of developing mining projects to help the economy. Unfortunately, he's only going to be president for a short time. And so there's a presidential election coming in February. Lundin Gold's Fruta del Norte has been a great success for Ecuador, its local communities and the shareholders, but mining projects are opposed elsewhere. Adventus Mining's takeover by Silvercorp has been postponed due to a lawsuit, for example. How is the lie of the land for Cascabel?
Well, we have I think the key is community support. And so in the local communities, the company's done a great job over the last 10 years of establishing great relationships and great community support. And I'm talking right at the mine, the eventual mine site. So we have that support. We have the support of the province of Imbabara. and at the federal level, the senior level. So we have a lot of community support, a lot of support, and that's really what you need to focus on. Yeah, the lawsuits situation, not good. I'm not familiar with the details, but we have community support, copper. It's a big project, so a lot of support at all levels of the administration. And you might note that, you mentioned Lundin, and Ron and his team done a great job there. It is, it was actually permitted, financed, and built under a Correa, so under a more of a, I'll just say a left of center, not center of government, right? So go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, in addition to providing you with money to do your work program, Franco and Osisko, they typically also help invest in social projects, helping with the social license. Will they be doing the same here with Cascabel?
Yes, they've committed, and I'm sure we all get the importance of ESG and the social programs, and they have committed funds for investment in social programs in the local community is their focus. And Franco has made an investment in the Umbar province, the province that we're in, and it was solid waste handling, and they've already made an investment to that, and that's moving along. But yeah, they will be investing in the local community, and they've made a commitment to us to do that. That's great.
Now, before they invest in a company like SolGold, Franco, Osisko Gold Royalties, I imagine they undertake a tremendous amount of due diligence. And so I imagine that stands the project and the company in good stead going forward, because you have that that additional validation from industry experts.
Yeah, absolutely. Franco, the management of Franco and Osisko, great financial background, very experienced. And so, but they brought some lean team, but they brought some outside consultants in that were very, very experienced, block K, so mining experts, process experts, ESG experts, environmental. And so they did a very, very rigorous review of everything we're doing, historic and present. Did a lot of work in the government relations side. They visited with a lot of the ministries, et cetera. So very extensive due diligence, and quite impressed with the team they fielded. And it was a very extensive, long, rigorous due diligence. But they liked what they saw. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made the investment.
Now, the February PFS that I referred to put the estimated capital development cost at, I think, 1.55 billion US dollars of the 750 million that the royalty companies have committed to the project. I think about, was it 500 or 600 of that is actually to help with the early stages of construction. So that means you need to raise about another $1 billion, more or less. Where do you anticipate that coming from?
Yeah, you're correct, Will. Well, more or less $1 billion. And so what we're working on now is, now that we've got this in place, the financing program, looking at things. So one of the things that's of particular interest to us is a concentrate takeoff. So in other words, selling the con and getting a commitment from a smelting group to finance it. And obviously, it's where we pay for it is in our TCRCs, the charges to the smelter. So the cost of the smelter, and that's one of the things we're looking at. Also debt, looking at, we've started to talk to some international lenders that are will invest and loan you money for mining projects or resource extractive industry projects. So we're looking at a combination of the concentrate takeoff, debt, and at last ditch will be equity, but that's quite some ways away, right? We don't need to do anything for years, let alone think about it today.
So sorry, I interrupted you again.
No, please go ahead. Sorry.
No, the scarcity of large copper development projects is well known. You've already got some big mining company investors in the company, such as BHP. Do you expect to get some more strategic action for Cascabel?
Well, we would. It's the strategic review process is something we work on all the time. And we think by de-risking the project, we'll get some more interest in this. So like I say, if we can get a shovel-ready project permitted with all the rights, access rights, and land ownership that we need, I think it'll entice more people to take a look at it, and who knows, maybe we'll end up with a strategic, some sort of a partnership or joint venture or whatever, right? So, but we continue to look at the strategic review process day in, day out, and we're looking at all sorts of possibilities, including the outside exploration portfolio.
Now, copper prices are expected to rise significantly as many commentators look at the supply-demand dynamics for the metal. And one of the other outcomes of that is many people believe the incentive price to build new production capacity is not high enough. What do you think would be the incentive price for you to take on the risk of building Cascabel?
Huh. Well, we think it looks pretty good right now. In other words, if you're talking price of copper for us, the price right now, we ran our economics at $3.75 copper, a little bit below where we are now, and it's got some great returns. So we think it's ready to go, at least on that aspect. But obviously, we got to de-risk it and get our permits in place, etc.
Okay, despite copper being at relatively high prices, the equity markets for juniors and developers like yourselves seem to have been hot and cold over the past 12 months or so. How would you sum things up? What has been your experience?
Yeah, there's no question. I believe the equity market, especially for developing copper stories like us, is not there at present. Hopefully that'll turn. And I think it's just, we've got a long runway before we get into production. And I think people look at, us, which is, we're several years away from production. So so there's a great copper price. We're not benefiting right now. It's been a tough market. I think if you talk to other people in the business like myself, you'll hear the same thing.
Absolutely. Now, as we're running in towards the end of the year, Scott, what catalyst can we expect to see both from SolGold and in the copper space?
Yeah, SolGold, for us in the short term, is between now and the end of the year, we think we're working on some agreements with the government called an Investment Protection Act. We have one now. We're modifying that to reflect our capital spend to date, and it's really an agreement with the government that defines things like arbitration if you needed it, where it would take place, other economic things. But it's a key agreement. It's not required. The exploitation contract is, so that we're going to be getting that soon. And I hopefully, we'll make some headway on our permitting, maybe get a permit and we can announce that. And, we're just going to start to de-risk the thing. And so we'll just keep people appraised as we move forward. Copper, better price is always good. But I think, the demand that everybody is predicting, i.e. the shortfall in copper production because of the decarbonization of the world, I think copper's going to have a nice run, and I'm hoping that maybe a junior developer like us, the exploration company, et cetera, will participate in that run of the copper price.
Well, let's hope so, Scott. Congratulations once again, and many thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
And I'm Paul Harris, and this is Kitco Mining.